Hello everyone. So in this video, I'd like to say about another story. So first of all, uh, hope you found previous videos helpful. So yeah, I just want to continue. I just say about the story. So I just have a small, just have a story to say about. So for today's story, we'll be having. I'll be speaking about a pencil and another pencil. So it is a pencil story. Or basically, it's like there is one pencil with an eraser and another pencil without an eraser. So that is the story. It is happening in a pencil world. So let's start the story. So once upon a time in a pencil world, so where there is only full of pencils, and in that pencil world there is a lot of pencils, and we find two pencils, and they're speaking something between each other. So they just uh, found they met each other and they want to speak. They're speaking something uh, each other, and they are speaking. And there is these two pencils. There is one pencil without an eraser, and there is another pencil with an eraser. So a pencil with an eraser means you can imagine a pencil like there is a pencil and then at the back of the pencil there will be some eraser, right? So you can flip the pencil and you can just erase that. So probably would have been using that earlier. So yeah, that is a pencil with the eraser. On the other hand, you have a pencil which does not have an eraser. So it is just a pencil without an eraser. So there is no eraser at the back, so it's only a pencil. So yeah, so these two pencils are there and they're just speaking about something. And the pencil without an eraser, so it was asking the pencil with an eraser like how are you so like not caring about anything and you just like being casual, not thinking about anything and seem to be very happy, like how are you like this, like don't you have any fear of uh, anybody, like you have to write long novels and storybooks you have to write for 100 pages, and don't you have any, don't you worry about that, or like don't you worry that somebody might break you in half, like they take the pencil and they'll put they'll kind of somebody like the school people they'll take and break the pencil in half, like not have those kind of fears, or like like say you also don't want to go inside a sharpener, like do you have that fears, like if they put you inside a sharpener and they sharpen and you'll become sharper, it will be kind of adjust is very fearful and not very liking for me, like this pencil without the eraser was saying to the pencil with the eraser, and the pencil with the eraser and also, without the eraser continued that okay, so how are you like this, like how do you find yourself kind of not worrying about anything and you're just casually just being there, like how do you do that? And the pencil with an eraser replied that that's why I have an eraser and you don't have an eraser. So just said like, yeah, so let me explain. So the pencil without an eraser was like, okay, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What do you do with the eraser? So, and the pencil with the eraser like replied like, okay, just listen. So there's a reason I have an eraser. So usually when something happens to me, what I'll do is I will take the situation and I'll just write them down. So since it's a pencil, it will lift itself up and I'll just write on a paper, like nearby some paper. I'll just write on it, and it will be like, okay, now it will divide every situation, it will take into two things. It told like it is telling these things to the other pencil. It's like I'll write anything that happens, and after anything that happens, I'll say like check if it is kind of a good one, like it's a good memory or not. Like if it's a good one, I'll keep it. If it is not a good one, I'll just kind of think about that for a while and just be like, okay, what can I learn and what can is there something that I have to do with it? Like if there is something that I have to do with it, then I will see what I could have done better. Otherwise, I'll just find something to learn there and I'll just add that to the, I'll write what I have, what I learned from the situation. And if it is not, if there is nothing that I could have done in that, and I just ask my eraser that's at the back of me, I'll just say, just erase this off. So I'll just be like, I'll just erase that off. So, and if there was something for me to do, and after I have taken the learnings, after I have learned from that, I will also erase that situation also. So I basically like I always erase the things as soon as they happen. I kind of evaluate that, and I just only keep the good things, and I only learn from the other things that happened if something has to be done by me. Otherwise, I'll just erase that off. So I'll just do this like every single time, like every any situation happens, I'll just ask my eraser friend. So I'll ask my eraser friend to just erase it off if it is not good one. I'll just keep the good memories forever. Like I'll just keep the good memories and I'll just think about a while and I'll just be like, yeah. So why do you have to be worried about anything? So that's how the pencil with the eraser replied. So it said like, if anything happens, just I'll ask my eraser friend to just suggest off if it is not so okay. If it is good, I'll just keep it, and if it's not okay, I'll see if I can learn anything from that. And if I cannot learn, so if I cannot do anything about it, so I'll just erase it off anyway. So I'll just erase it off. If I can learn something, I'll learn from it. I'll take note of the learning, and I'll just erase the situation after that. So yeah. So anyway, like bad situations, I'll just erase stuff. I just don't hold that thing, so I just can't remember. Like you, like since probably you are like the pencil with the eraser is selling the pencil without the eraser. It's like probably you're thinking about all these things because you're just carrying these things for a while. Like it is not necessary. Just because if you don't have to worry about things that you can't control, and just keep note of the things that of the good things that happen to you, and eventually you will. If you just keep thinking about the good things that is happening to you, you will eventually find yourself experiencing like find yourself getting more good. So what you observe more and what you think of more will happen to your organization. So it was just like giving this kind of advice to the pencil without the eraser, and yeah, that is what the pencil the eraser was telling. And this is the story. So in this, so the pencil the eraser was saying like just keep what is good in mind and just go that. So and after that, the pencil the eraser also told to the pencil without the eraser. So just go to the pencil mechanic shop and or first go to find some eraser friend and go to your mechanic shop and uh, what is it? Get an eraser uh, with you. So get an eraser with you, and then just try to do what I'm doing. So yeah, so just you can be much more happier and all these things. And yeah, so that is the story. So it's like so the pencil with the eraser and told the pencil with the eraser to get the eraser so that can be much more helpful. That and then the pencil without the eraser realized that okay, so this is your thing. So this is how you are handling situations, and this is how you're going about it. And yeah, so and then the pencil without the eraser also got an eraser, and then they lived happily ever after. Not like that. They just kind of lived happily after that. Like they both kind of try to better live the life after that. So it was actually this is the story. So after that, the story is completed. So story is end. So the end. So that is the story. So yeah. So what did we learn from the story? So in the story, what is the key takeaway for us? So uh, yeah, that's the pencil with the eraser and pencil without the eraser. So that's the story between pencil with the eraser. So yeah. So what did we learn from the story? So now, as I've completed the story, so let's see what we can learn from the story. So, yeah, what we have learned in the story. In the story, the key takeaway for us is we need to only keep in mind only the things which happens which is good around us. So let's we take any situation, just think about what is the good in that and try to remember the good. And if there is something that is not good, like you remember about some situations that have been better and it's not very okay for you, just think about that for a while. Just don't think too much. Just think just enough to resolve that and try to find if something you could have done better in that. And just take that down, like what you could have done better, and write that in your and take that down. And after that, just don't think too much about the thing. Like you could have not controlled that, and it has nothing to do with you. So if it is something to do with you, then you just learn what you could have done better the next time, and that's all you can do. So and after that, just leave. Just don't think about that too much or something like that. So it's much simpler said than done. So it's like yeah, but we can obviously like try like uh, we keep trying. Like eventually it becomes a habit, and then it will become easier for us to do. But we have to try anyways, right? So we have to try this ways, like trying to live by this things. That's a key takeaway. So what I recommend, like from the story, like what I'd like to say about is we need to have only two books in for our life. So we need to have only two books, which is uh, we need to have only two books. Yeah, we need to have only two books. The first book is uh, the book of good. So good books, like what are good happens to us, you just have to write that down and then keep that in memory forever. So that is the first book. That is a good book. The second book is learnings book, which is for the bad situations, like any bad situation that happens. Apparently, any situation is you cannot be called it as bad because something you can always learn from any situation, which means learning means you learn something and you can do the next situation better. So it is also good. So apparently, that is not bad situation, but just for saying, so like when you say it as a bad situation. So yeah, you need to have only these two books. Second one is the learning book. So any bad situation or anything that happens, like just think about what you could have done better, and just take that thing which you could have done better and write them down in the learning book. And yeah, and then you forget the situation that existed and you just don't care about it anymore. Yeah, sometimes there might be like open loops, like where you could have done something and you feel like I could have done better and I want to do it better, but you can't do anything about it right now, and you're just like thinking over and over it because your brain does not like open loops, like it does not like to leave something unclosed, so it wants to close something, so you want to kind of want to think about it. But just keep it a practice, like if you can't really do anything about it, just kind of uh, find a way, like just think about it. It cannot be done anything about it right now, just leave it, just think that next time something like that happens, now I have the learning, so next time I can do it better. So just think something like that, and you can just keep moving on. So that this way, you only have two books. It is you only have two things to think about, like to remember about any situation. Is like what is the good that happened. So you can just remember these good situations forever, and just remember that and be happy about that. And then you also have the learnings, which is like in different situations you learn about different things and you want to kind of find ways to live life better or live the same situation better. So this is the two books that you can have. So this is the learning that we get from the story. So hopefully you found this helpful. So we have two books, the remember the good and learn from situations. So that is the learnings from the story. So hopefully you found this video helpful. So yeah, so hopefully you found this video helpful. Like yeah, I'm kind of I don't know why I'm posting like stories and anything, but yeah, so this is something that I like to say that I want to say. So yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. See you next week.